Today we are going to be talking about ESS2-3, obtaining information to identify where water is found on Earth and that it can be solid or liquid. I want to start by identifying the expectations for students, which is to be able to obtain information to show them many places on Earth that water is found and to tell the difference between liquid and solid water. So, what does all of that mean? As a second grade student, there are many misconceptions and there could be confusion as for where water can be found in the different states. So, water is found almost everywhere. You have your obvious places like oceans, lakes, rivers, pools, our homes. Many second grade students are going to think of taking a shower or turning on a faucet, and that to them is water. What they drink is water. They may not think of not so obvious places like in plants that store them in their leaves, or underground, the groundwater, the wells that we have, the reservoirs that we have, permafrost, ice caps, glaciers, all those different places that many second graders are not going to think of whenever we think of the many different places on Earth that we can find water. So, as a second grader, I would think, what is permafrost? So permafrost is a thick layer of ground that remains frozen throughout the year. Another thing to note is that ice caps and glaciers make up about 10% of Earth's water. Now, ice caps, glaciers, and permafrost tie into the objective that students are able to identify the difference between solid and liquid water. Here I have water in its solid state, which people would refer to as ice. Now, a misconception that students might have would be that this is ice and not water. They might have a difficult time understanding that the two are interchangeable. That this here, water in its liquid state, is the same as water in its solid state. Now, for the point of discussion, I would tell a second grader that this is frozen water and this is liquid water. This is just a temperature difference, but it really is truly a difference in kinetic energy. But for second graders and for the point of this lesson and this standard, we would just say that this is solid water and this is liquid water. So, another notable piece of information is that 71% of Earth's surface is made up of water. So it's a pretty big deal, and it's important to know about its different properties, states, and locations. So, some common misconceptions. I already went over a couple of them, but students may only think of water as being in oceans, lakes, or etc. Also, students only see water as water if it is in its liquid form. They may not think of even water vapor as a form of water or ice as a form of water, but it is. So now I want to show you some different images of water. My assessment will be students on a poster board obtaining different information, different photos, drawings, however they choose to display the information of the different places that water can be found. So this would be water that's found in plants. We have permafrost, which is the thick layer of frozen soil that is in Arctic places. So this is going to be our solid form of water, while this is our liquid form of water. We have oceans, obviously, which is going to be the bigger part of where water is found, while this water is not drinkable, though, which is another point to bring up. And we also have glaciers and ice caps, which would, of course, be our solid water source. So that is standard ESS2, obtaining information to identify where water is found on Earth, and that it can be solid or liquid.